welcome everyone to this episode of All the Good Titles Were Taken, the show where if I don't start on time, it's my own fault because this is my solo show. And, you know, that's close to on time, still right at the bottom of the hour, even though we just passed that 1 minute mark, but still close enough to on time to call it on time, even though growing up and early in my work, on time is late, 5 minutes early is on time. But tonight's episode, we are going to go over optical media and a new product that a CEO decided he was going to review, which I think is hilarious. Just his reaction. We'll get into it, but I'm gonna jump a little bit and talk about that video. It's just, to be perfectly honest, we'll see the coverage in the video, but McDonald's, if they have any sense, they will fire him. You can't have a CEO of your company look like he's on the verge of tears, not even taking a bite of the product that you're actually trying to sell. At least Burger King's CEO took a huge bite of the Whopper at least and actually looked like he was enjoying it. I swear that the CEO of McDonald's looks like he was on the verge of tears having to eat one of their burgers. And it's amazing that he called it a product. Yes, technically it is a product, but call it a burger. I mean, come on, that's just ridiculous. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and follow button depending on where you are watching from. I am your host, Drunken Emerald Arrow. So we'll start off with the first one is coming from the channel KIRU. Why we are going back to optical storage. Yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. Before we get to that, as a reminder, all the videos that I watch will be linked in the show description. So go check out the video for yourself if it's a channel that you like, or enjoying what is being stated in the video. Give them a follow as well. Let's get on into it.
Remember the sound of a CD player spinning up? Or the massive binder of DVDs people used to keep on a shelf?
I still have all of those. My DVDs and Blu-rays are in binders. My CDs are in binders, and I'm starting a new I'm putting together now an actual hi-fi system. But CDs really have not left my life in any kind of way. I still have the original first CDs that I bought. And those first two original CDs I bought were Green Day Dookie, which unfortunately Green Day turned into a bunch of angry lesbians. And then Soundgarden, Super Unknown. Those were my very first two CDs I ever bought. And I still have them, and I still listen to them. This whole thing about disc rot, I don't say that disc rot is a myth. I believe it happens, but I think it has to do with the quality of the disc itself. Because again, like I said, well, let's see, those came out in 93, 94. So they're 31, 32 years old. Wow. They're that old already. Yeah. Yeah, they're that old. And they are still completely playable. No disc rot. I have a bunch of CDs that I've had for decades now, and none of them are showing any of this supposed disc rot that they keep talking about and going, the downside of optical media is disc rot. I have not run across it yet. And again, from what I've been able to research and find, disc rot happens more based off of the manufacturing and the materials that were actually used in the making of the compact disc itself, the CD. So maybe there are certain CDs that maybe have more susceptibility to disc rot, but every disc I have are still completely playable. I'm not right and not having any issues with
For
them.
many of us, that was our first experience with optical data storage. At its core, optical storage is simple. Instead of using electricity or magnetism, it uses light, specifically lasers, to store and read.
Magic. Magic. They work by magic. No, it is interesting that each format uses different lasers. I am covering a little bit, but compact disc is infrared. Then you have red laser for DVDs and blue laser for obviously for Blu-ray, hence the reason why it's called Blu-ray.
Data. A laser creates microscopic marks on a surface, traditionally called pits and lands, which represent digital ones and zeros. For decades, this technology powered CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays. But today, optical storage feels like a relic of the past.
I don't agree with that. While CD, DVD, and Blu-ray discs are on the decline because of certain market forces, they still exist and they're still around. They never completely went away. I mean, if you want to talk about like dead media, you're talking about like a cassette tape. That pretty much was a dead format. Granted, it is making a bit of a resurgence, and they are now starting to remake compact disc players. I mean, not compact disc. Tape decks. The cassette is making a resurgence. I don't know why. I can understand records making a comeback. CDs, I don't think ever did have a decline, but I think they're having a comeback. They never were dead media. You want to talk about dead media? The dead media is 8 tracks. That's dead media.
So what happened? Optical storage didn't disappear because of one single flaw. It was pushed out by a complete shift in how...
Again, it didn't disappear. If it truly disappeared, then you wouldn't be able to still buy the way I'll say it, at no time have you not been able to buy new music on CD. You always have. So it hasn't gone away. Now the sales have been down. Sure. I'll give you that. We did the trend lines. I think the peak of CD sales was in 2005. I want to say was the peak of it, and then it just started declining from that point on. It was like 2000 or 2005 was the peak for CD sales, but it's never bottomed out to zero. You could always get the music on CD. It declined in the sense of being in Walmart's. Well, no, Walmart still has them. Best Buy completely taking out their section, but Barnes and Noble still, depending on certain Barnes and Noble, still have CDs for sale at their locations, still selling them. So Amazon, you can sit there and buy them, and they're still being produced. New music's still coming out on them and have been the entire time. Go and try to get a new album or a new artist record. Jeez. See, this is the thing. Album is the best term. Go and get a new album on a cassette tape. You can't do it. That's dead media. Granted, like I said, the resurgence right now means that perhaps tapes will start being produced with music on it from new artists, but CDs have always had a pressing, if you will. The resurgence of the vinyl, that is where you really had the real resurgence. It didn't fully die, but it became very niche. Now it's really being driven by nostalgia collectors and the younger generation that wants to actually own the music and wants something tactile and physical to actually use. So that is helping the resurgence of records. But again, CDs are having the resurgence. And I think with the push towards what he's going to, I think, about to talk about streaming services as being the downfall of the CD, I think it did hurt the CD and it did take it down. But because of all the services, you don't own anything. And in fact, an artist gets more revenue from a CD being bought than getting played on these streaming services. These streaming services revenue, when it comes to people listening to it, is so fractional compared to what they would get from a CD, especially if they already own almost all the rights. Now, recording contracts and stuff, I did college, I did music business. When it comes down to the way a lot of contracts are constructed, is that most of the money that an artist usually will make is usually from touring, merch sales, and some of the CD sales, but not much. Most of the money that the record company and distributor makes is from the CD. The margin of income for the artist on physical media is still lower compared to the recording. Is still a lower percentage compared to what the record company gets, but they still get a higher percentage than they do from the streaming side.
We use data. First, we went digital. Streaming services like Netflix and Spotify removed the need for physical media, while cloud platforms like Google Drive made instant access more important than ownership. Then
Ownership is the most important. I am an advocate of owning your own stuff. You go and put your own documents on a cloud, it's no longer yours. They even say, well, our cloud is secure, but it's not in your possession. It's not on your hard drive. That's why I'm very big on you don't even have to spend a lot, and you can back up your own and have your own air quotes cloud that you control and you own. The moment you put it in a Microsoft OneDrive cloud or Apple, you no longer own that. You're renting space, but it's someone else's server, someone else's hard drives. You can buy external hard drives that are already set up. Western Digital, I believe, sells them, and it's a pair of hard drives, and you can sit there and have them set up, I believe, in a RAID, so you always have it. You don't lose control of your data. It is always yours. There's no threat of losing it because the cloud goes down. You'll always be able to access it. Those that have home labs have already built up their own stuff. I have invested and have my own server with my own NAS attached to it, where I have all of my music backed up. I have every video and everything is all backed up, and it's all in a RAID. So if I lose a hard drive, I can just slot another hard drive in and it'll reconstruct the lost hard drive. I will never lose my data when it comes to the performance of this setup. It functions just like a cloud, except for it's mine. It's on my property. I own it, and I have full control over it.
was capacity. A CD holds about 700 megabytes. A Blu-ray tops out around 100 gigabytes. Today, a cheap USB drive or SSD can store multiple terabytes in something smaller than your thumb. Speed was another issue. Burning a disk is slow compared to dragging files onto flash storage. And then there was the physical hassle. Disks scratch, warp, and take up space.
But there are ways to store that don't take up nearly as much space. You can buy a binder that you can put all your discs in, preserve them, keep them safe, and they don't take up a lot of space. If you're doing individual jewel cases, then yes, that's going to take up a lot of space. Now, there's a lot of CD collectors that are out there when it comes to the music, even with the box media for DVDs and Blu-rays that some people keep to, over my TV. I actually have some of the TV shows that I bought. I've kept the box because of the box art. In the case of CDs and those that are collecting music CDs, they keep the jewel cases. Now, in my binders, I've kept all the liner notes. So I still have the liner notes to every CD that I have. So I haven't lost that. I've lost the space. I've regained space by getting rid of the jewel cases themselves. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to be able to resell them. Sure. But I don't intend to ever resell or get rid of my own CD collection. They're things I own. I equate it to the same with having like a personal library of books in your home. You don't get rid of them unless you're moving and you need the space because you're downsizing, something like that, but never get rid of books.
As laptops and cars got thinner, disk drives quietly disappeared. By the mid-2000s, optical storage...
I still have a CD player in my vehicle. I'm pretty sure some of the really newer, and again, my vehicle's a 2020, and it still has a CD player in it. Now, I don't know about the newer ones. I don't know if the Tesla cars have CD players or not. I would imagine probably not, because they're probably all Blu-ray and everything else, connect your phone in. But again, physical media, again,
had been completely outclassed for everyday use. In its place, modern storage manipulates electrons and magnetic fields. SSDs store data as electrical charges in flash memory, making them fast and perfect for apps.
Thing is that's referring more towards actual, not storage of media in the sense of backing up and use it for accessibility. What he's talking about there seems like he's more discussing just the operation of the computer itself. Of course, you're going to go to an SSD for faster read and write speeds, because that's the computer. You're going to use an SSD. You're going to use an NVMe drive, an M.2, or even a mechanical drive. While slower, its read-write capabilities faster than a CD, because that's not what the CD's for. It's for more long-term storage, movie playback, or music playback. It's not for like daily driver having your OS loaded on it. So that, yeah.
Hard drives use magnetic heads to write onto spinning platters. Slower, but cheap for servers. And behind the scenes, magnetic tape remains essential for large-scale backups. For daily computing, these technologies are simply better than disks. So why are companies like...
No, I'm not liking this video. Yes, again, because no one runs their computer off of a CD. A CD is not for a replacement for a hard drive or an SSD. Okay. Let's see what else this guy says.
Microsoft suddenly investing millions into optical storage again. To understand why, we need to look at the scale of modern data. In 2010, the world generated roughly 2 zettabytes of data. By the mid-2000s, that number is expected to exceed 180 zettabytes. Every photo, message, sensor, and video adds to this growing archive. But not all data is equal. Engineers divide data into hot and cold. Hot data is accessed constantly. It lives on fast SSDs. Cold data is rarely accessed, but must be preserved for years or decades. Through a process called data tiering, most data becomes cold within about 90 days. And this is where the problem begins. None of our existing storage technologies are truly built to last for the long term. SSDs rely on electrical charges that slowly leak over time when unpowered.
That's why it's kind of recommended to use hard drives while mechanical, and they can have a failure. They are more robust, last longer than an SSD, because an SSD does degrade with every read-write. I don't believe it's when it reads it declines. It's when it writes. And then you delete, and then you rewrite on it, and then you delete and rewrite. That degrades the life expectancy of the drive itself. Again, like I've said, hard drives, I mean, we still have people collecting old computers and stuff like that with 30-year-old hard drives that are still functional. They're definitely going to be on their last legs, but they still work. So, I mean, okay, so you do have to replace a hard drive every so often, but the longevity is fine for when you're talking about server. Now, if you're just talking about backing up data that maybe you're never going to really need to access, but you want to just have in a backup format, then yeah, sure, optical would be a better way to preserve it for a longer period of time.
Hard drives depend on mechanical parts and lubricants that can seize if left unused. Even magnetic tape, the current archival
Right, if left unused. Most of servers and stuff like that, even my server with my NAS, the disks will spin down if I don't use them, but as soon as I go and I start using again, it will come back to life. They will start spinning again, and that, again, will actually preserve the life instead of it constantly spinning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Then that actually will end up leading to them breaking down and dying faster. But if they go for a period of time and they're not in use, then they power down, they stop spinning, and they wait till they need to be used again. I've heard that actually helps provide extending the life of the hard drive.
Standard chemically breaks down over time. Because of this, data centers are trapped in a migration cycle, constantly copying data from aging hardware to new hardware every few years. This process is expensive, energy intensive, and produces enormous amounts of electronic waste. We are trying to preserve civilization's memory on tools that were designed to be temporary. This is where optical storage has a unique advantage. Unlike SSDs or magnetic media, optical storage doesn't rely on fragile electrical charges. Data is stored as physical modifications in a material. Once written, those marks don't drift or leak away. They require no power, no cooling, and no maintenance to remain intact. They're even immune to electromagnetic interference. This physical permanence is the key insight driving modern optical research. But traditional discs still had major limitations: capacity and material. First, capacity. Blu-rays only store data on their surface. Even at their best, they max out around 100 gigabytes. Scaling that to global data volumes would require billions of disks and enormous robotic libraries. Second, material. Traditional disks are made from polycarbonate plastic. Over long periods, plastics can warp, scratch, or chemically degrade. The data may be permanent, but the disk isn't. To truly solve the long-term storage problem, optical storage needed two breakthroughs: writing data in 3 dimensions and using a material that doesn't decay.
Again, it's that talking about the disk rot. Like I said, I mean, sure, you're going to have to potentially replace some, but again, it's based on what they actually used. If they used a lower grade quality material to make the discs, then yeah, they're going to be more susceptible to disk rot. But like I said, my first CDs that I ever bought over 30 plus years ago are still completely functional, readable, and I still listen to them to this day.
Researchers at the University of Southampton discovered a way to do both. They began using fused quartz glass, an ultra-pure form of silica known for extreme durability. This material can withstand high temperatures, radiation, water exposure, and physical aging far better than plastic.
I'm fairly certain, too, the one thing that is positive of putting your backup data onto a CD, let's say it goes into what he was calling cold information. If you back that up on a CD, you are preserving it in such a way that it's going to last for a longer period of time. You're not going to have to worry about the destruction of drives, the loss of it through SSDs because of the degrading that happens with the memory cells. And they're less susceptible to cosmic rays. I say that because our protection from cosmic rays is not, still happens, and they've seen plenty of times. A cosmic ray, let's say, hits your memory, hits I don't know so much about the hard drives, but if it hits your memory and stuff like that, it can swap a 0 to a 1 and corrupt your system all of a sudden, and then you have to reboot. I think it has more to do when it comes to like SSDs and memory than it does the hard drive itself. But still, it can change that 0 to a 1, and well, now you're gonna have to reboot because now the data in your memory is corrupted, and it may cause a crash. So,
using ultra-fast femtosecond lasers, researchers learned how to write data inside the glass instead of on its surface. This technique is known as 5D optical data storage. The name sounds futuristic, but it's surprisingly logical. 3 dimensions describe the physical position of each data point inside the glass, X, Y, and Z. The 4th dimension is the orientation of the nanostructure, and the 5th is the size of that structure. By combining all 5 variables, hundreds of layers of data can be stored inside a single piece of glass. In theory, a disk the size of a CD could store hundreds of terabytes. More importantly, the data is stable for extremely long periods under normal conditions, far beyond anything achievable with existing storage media. Today, this research has moved beyond the lab. Microsoft's Project Silica is building robotic libraries where glass plates are stored without power and read only when needed.
How many sci-fi movies have we watched and have come out where they kind of projected that the media would shrink down but would hold a lot more data, and it would still be the choice for putting it around? One of the examples, and I think is a good example, if you look at Demolition Man, their media is still optical, but it's so small, and it has all of the information. Actually, that's kind of interesting.
Their system uses machine learning to interpret complex optical patterns inside the glass, turning analog light signals back into digital data. The goal isn't speed, it's permanence. The vision is radical. Imagine archival data written once, stored without power or cooling, and then read back decades or centuries later exactly as it was written. No more 5-year migration cycles, no constant energy drain. This isn't storage for your phone or laptop, it's storage for human memory. Despite its promise, modern optical storage still has obstacles. Writing data with femtosecond lasers is slow, making it suited for archives, not everyday use. The hardware is expensive and specialized, and it's write once. Mistakes can't be erased. But there's an irony here. We spent decades abandoning physical media in favor of the invisible cloud. But to prevent that cloud from evaporating, we're returning to one of the most durable materials humanity has ever used: glass.
This is where I push back, and I'm physical media, own your own stuff. Stop giving power to these corporations. One of the previous episodes that I did was talking about Microsoft. The fact of the matter is that they are getting so evasive when it comes to their AI that they're putting in there. They're forcing you to have to make an account. You're forcing people to have their computers online. You no longer you can't even own the you don't own the operating system. You're leasing the operating system. You have no control over it. And therefore, you really don't even own your own computer because you can't use it without the operating system. That's where people have been switching to Linux, because you want to know what, at least with Linux, it's free. You can own your computer again. You don't have to be online. You can run it as a single system that is isolated. That's the way we're going to need to go to get away from this. But then you have the retarded law that California just frickin' passed, what's down in Brazil, with age verification on an operating system. Fine. If you want to age gate things on the internet, that's fine. If you want to age gate, I'm fine with that. But the computer, absolutely fucking not. Last time we watched talking about this age verification at the OS level, I got really heated on that last episode because it pisses me off. And the thing is that the excuse always uses, this is for the children, to protect the children, and it's left and right are all signing on to these stupid, retarded bills. Stop it. This is getting out of hand and out of control. This is more moving towards mass surveillance. A lot of people are just kind of playing it down. Well, they just want to, you just say what your age is and you're fine and stuff. It's like, but that's the foot in the door for you to have to scan an ID. Why? I'm gonna go past this because I don't want to get too heated on this for the last time, because I just got so frustrated when it came down to it that, yeah. though there has been some movements on that. Some companies are already kind of backing down and refusing to fight. There's some that have already said that come January 1st that their OS will no longer be available for California. It says for residents of California because they're pushing back. So we'll see what happens, because I think we're just at the beginning of what's going on here with the age verification for an operating system. The law that California wrote is so open to interpretation that even a calculator that has technically an operating system would need to have an age verification on it. A calculator, like your TI-86, would have to have an age verification on it. This is... I'm wondering how it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. Like I said, we're just in the beginning stages of it.
Modern optical storage won't replace your SSD, but it may finally solve the problem of long-term digital preservation. Instead of storing our history in systems designed to fail, we may soon be carving it into something that lasts. The future of our digital legacy isn't written in magnetism or electricity anymore. It's written in light.
All right.
Growing up, I always thought...
Didn't want to play that. But if you want to see what this one is, this is another channel that I have been watching that she does a really good deep dive. She's been doing a lot of How I Met Your Mother deep dives. Let's pull up what her channel is, even though we're not going to watch this video. Pensive Whiskers. She does really good deep dives into TV shows. But like I was saying, we will see what happens when it comes to the age verification on operating systems, because that's at system level. To force companies to do that, especially the smaller ones. And the channel that we watched before, he's been in communication with some of these small little OSs, Linux-based systems, and a lot of them weren't even aware of it. And after we got done, we did our video kind of covering it from the Lunduk Journal. I'm seeing more and more channels now starting to talk about it. And the thing is this law passed in October. So this is really gone under the radar, that developers are now just coming up to speed and didn't even realize this was even in place and didn't realize it was going to affect them. They're finding out now, and now they're scrambling because, again, they have less than a year to either comply or give the finger to California and say, well, you want to know what? We're pulling out of California. Or they ignore the law altogether, get fined, and then sue the state, and then take it all the way to the Supreme Court as being an unconstitutional law, and see what the constitutionality is of them being forced to actually have to do this. And unfortunately, I think that's the direction that's going to end up having to go, is actually challenge the constitutionality of the law. I think states are going to continue to push this because, again, politicians are evil. Doesn't matter left or right. They all suck. They all want power. They all want control over our lives. And I think they've completely overstepped when it comes to the way our government is set up. They're no longer representing us. They make bogus laws and they apply it to bullshit. They claim they're doing it to protect children. It doesn't protect children any. What protects it is parents actually paying attention and doing their jobs as parents and using parental lockups. Don't give your kids screens. Make them read physical books. Make them use DVDs. Listen to CDs. And maybe once they get to 16, 17, then you can start maybe doing that with parental controls. But it means parents being fucking parents. Be responsible for your child and what your child does. So Okay, the next video we are going to watch is talking about what everyone has been kind of noticing and stuff like that, which has actually been quite humorous. In all honesty, I'll when it comes to this burger, I'll talk about it at the end. But with that said, so this one, we've done a video from her channel before. This is Lindy Glenn. We've done another video of hers before talking about tipping culture. Give her a follow, give her a like, go check out her stuff. She actually has some pretty good videos. So let's get this up and unmute. And we will start off.
And I'm gonna taste test it, and I'm not just gonna taste test it. I'm gonna have it for my lunch.
All right, the moment of truth.
He looks like he wants to cry. I do not blame him.
He does not look like a guy that would eat a McDonald's burger and enjoy it.
And that's why McDonald's needs to either never let their CEO out in public again or replace him.
Came through on video and it was extremely cringeworthy, and it's starting to blow up in McDonald's face. All right, everyone, we need to talk about the most recent moment when the internet realized that something might be very, very wrong at McDonald's. Because the McDonald's CEO just posted a video to TikTok trying out McDonald's brand new Big Arch burger.
Chris K here with, you've heard about it, here it is, the Big Arch.
He looks so uncomfortable. Now, again, if he's not a person that's comfortable waiting in front of the camera, then sure, he's going to come off awkward already. But if you've seen the video already from TikTok, he looks so uncomfortable the entire time. It almost feels more like there's a person off to the side. It's a ransom video almost. I mean, like I said, he seems like he's almost on the verge of tears having to actually put that in his mouth.
In this video, don't you worry, we're gonna watch it and break it down, you guys. That man examined this burger on camera and took a bite, basically like he was politely trying to survive a dare. And this was supposed to be a promotional video. You know, the CEO proudly eating the company's brand new creation, smiling, telling everybody how amazing it tastes, trying to push people to go out and buy this one instead of the Big Mac because it's a lot more expensive. But what we got in this video was anything but that.
Again, the fact is this is the CEO. It is a new burger. Your R&D created it, and you're trying to promote it to sell it. Your facial expressions look like you're in pain. You look like you're on the verge of tears. You don't even look like a person that even eats any McDonald's food, for one thing. It feels so off. It feels disingenuous. But we'll see more.
We're going to take a look at the clip that went viral. We're also going to talk about other reactions, including body language analysis. And we even have the Burger King CEO throwing a little bit of shade his way. We're going to talk about it all today because you know that when the McDonald's CEO looks nervous about the food, the internet is going to have a field day.
I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So first of all, let's try to get this thing. I don't even know how to attack it. God.
His acting sucks. It's a hamburger. You bite into it. That's how you attack it. whoever wrote it, the script needs to be fired too.
I can't resist pausing it already. Can we talk about the fact that he didn't even call it a burger? He called it a product.
Okay, a lot of people are going to play into the fact that McDonald's food is fake. Yeah, well, they're partly true. But yes, this is definitely a person that doesn't eat his own company's food. In all technicalities, it is a product. It is something that is produced to be sold, which does mean it is a product. But to call it a product when you're trying to push a brand new burger and you don't call it a burger, you don't call it food, our brand new food item we have for sale, our brand new burger that we have to give to you, that you want to know what we worked hard to create, and we quite are impressed by it, and we really hope you guys enjoy it, and I'm going to eat it too. No, product. Where the heck did they get this CEO from?
A product. Look at this product, not look at this good, juicy, delicious burger.
Yeah.
It's look at this product. Check out this product. And then the fact that he has to make sure that we know that he intends to eat all of this for lunch.
I don't think he ate any more of it. Let's see. I tried it the other day coming in from Vagabond. Welcome and hail. Yep. I, after seeing this video, and hearing about it, I actually tried the burger today. Maybe this cringe video was actually marketing for people to go and be very curious about this burger that he was so afraid to eat. And I'm wondering if maybe it is kind of marketing. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I had it. It wasn't terrible. It was all right. It was okay. I mean, it was a McDonald's burger. Definitely something a little bit different.
My intention is clear. I will be eating this for lunch. In my opinion, that gives the vibe of somebody who is about to do something that they really don't want to do, that they're like talking themselves through it. All right, I'm gonna go get this flu shot. This is me sitting down to take a flu shot. I'm definitely getting a flu shot. And then he's trying to make us think that this burger is so big that he doesn't know how to tackle it, yet his entire hand covers it.
Vagabond. It was late night, so basically, my opinion, I think the McDouble or quarter pounder is better. I will say what is really good is a fresh off the grill quarter pounder with cheese. I out of the McDonald's menu when it comes to the burgers, yeah, McDouble's not bad, but for me it's the quarter pounder. It's something about it, and you can try to recreate it at home. You can't get it there. It's the different McDonald's condiments they put on it. That does make the flavor taste different. It's hard. Again, it's the fast food things. There's just some burgers that are better from fast food and that you just can't recreate at home. You can try getting close, but you just can't get it from home. You got to get it from the restaurant.
Don't know how to attack it. It's just so big. It's really big. I'm serious.
So much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite.
I had thought of making a joke about it, setting up the camera at work because I had got this for lunch. I actually got it for lunch. I actually did eat it, the entire thing for lunch, but I was very tempted to set up my phone camera just to do a mocking of this. But the whole point is that even my first bite was bigger into the burger than what he did. It is so small to call it a big bite. That is not a big bite. That's a fucking nibble.
For a big arch.
That is not a big.
Yeah, Vagabond. Each burger has a different sauce. Yeah. That and different combination of the sauce. Because I believe the quarter pounder is ketchup and mustard only. Same with the McDouble. But the difference with the McDouble is a dehydrated onions, where the quarter pounder has slivered onions. I'm a person that actually likes onions. So I actually like the slivered onions better than the little onions that they put on the McDouble. If I get a McDouble, sometimes I'll ask them to substitute in the same onions they use on the quarter pounder.
Bite. It doesn't even look like there was a bite taken out of it. It looks like, if anything, the corner got a little bit ripped. And then did you see the look on his face right before he took the bite? He's like scowling. He's like, yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Gotta have onions.
So then it starts to get even better because he posts another video taking a bite of another sandwich, and he does make sure that this bite looks a lot bigger. But what somebody noticed was he immediately takes the napkin to his face and appears to spit the bite out into it.
Am I literally the only person who caught this when he spits out the chicken sandwich? Look, scoop and swoop. Really? Everyone's talking about that tiny little piss bite he took out of the burger, but look, he spits out the chicken sandwich. Scoop, spit, swoop. Didn't even eat it.
Well, I don't think that's
I don't know who. I've never actually seen many people wipe their faces like that with a napkin, all folded out. I mean, I don't even do that. I just take the napkin and be done with it. And it being folded out like that and seeing him pinch like that, yeah, that is a bit suspicious.
chicken sandwich. I think that's the Big Mac, but it does look like he could potentially spit that bite out into the napkin. 100%. He never called it food. He calls it a product. Pay attention. That's what I'm saying. The concept of a CEO not understanding or knowing what they are selling. The big bite in question. Someone screenshotted it and said, "This is the big bite."
There's almost no change to the size of the bun. He calls that a big bite?
The McDonald's CEO taste testing McDonald's burgers is entertaining the masses right now. Not because every word out of his mouth sounds like he's lying to us.
I love this product. It is so good.
And everything
Again, it sounds more and looks more like a hostage video.
to do with the way the man seems to struggle to even take one bite out of the burger he promises is about to be his lunch.
Eat this for my lunch, just so you know.
This is the bite he takes. I couldn't even see that he had actually taken a bite out of it until I zoomed in. But don't worry, he loved it. His taste testings are so great, in fact, that people are now reenacting them with surprising accuracy.
Chris K here, and I got it. You heard it. The big arch. It's already been tested, and I'm gonna taste test it, and I'm not just gonna taste test it. I'm gonna have it for my lunch as well. So that's a big sandwich.
He's doing a good job of acting like he's in pain.
But before I dive into the sandwich, let's have a fry. You can't have a McDonald's burger without a fry. Whoo, man, delicious.
Yeah, folks are eating. Yeah, that's very true. The thing is that I'm wondering if, yes, he's awkward. Yes, he did this, but to release it when it looks so awkward, I'm wondering if this is actually marketing. it's getting people to go to buy the burger to make memes. So they're selling it and getting people to at least taste it. From just watching the video and stuff like that, I was curious and I went and got one. Like I said, it wasn't bad. So yeah, I'm wondering if this was just genius marketing to have a cringe CEO act like this, because it gets eyes on the product. It's one of the cases I think where it actually does fall under the guise of there's no such thing as bad advertising. Now let's see. Can't wait for Dragon Con. I bet cosplayers will be about this since it's meme culture. Yeah. How many are going to be walking around with a big arch? or a big arch box as a costume and kind of walking around with it. That is interesting. If you, Vagabond, if you see that, get some of those pictures.
Also, we just gonna, it's great fries. So as you see here, you kind of sort of have this poppies. You have a bun of some sort, 2 quarter-pound patties. You have the big arch sauce and pickles, as you know, and whew, crispy onions for they're just falling out everywhere. So let's give this thing a bite. Now that's a big arch bite.
Yeah, this person commented, the McDonald's CEO is giving the same Campbell soup vibes to me. If you didn't see,
I will say this CEO definitely looks like he doesn't eat fast food. He doesn't look like a person that would even eat McDonald's food in the first place. So I don't. If you're a CEO of the company, especially if it's food products and burgers and stuff like that, if you're going to be CEO, you should be eating your own food and not having such a reaction to having to eat it like you're being held hostage, or the fact that it looks like you're on the verge of tears for having to even try it. Last Dragon Con, a chick cosplay the Cracker Barrel guy, looking for a new job since he was no longer on the logo. Yeah, that definitely was the meme going around at that time. That's definitely for sure.
my Campbell soup video about that CEO, I'll link that up here. Yeah, CEOs of all of these companies are so completely out of touch. Guarantee he doesn't even eat his own company's food, just like the Campbell CEO doesn't. And of course, we have to see what the body language professionals have to say about this.
I don't know if she plays it or not, but if she does, just kind of preface it a little bit, is that other companies are now coming out because of the burger war, because of just just fast food wars in itself. The whole point, the Burger King CEO went down and actually took the Whopper and actually took a huge bite of the Whopper compared to the little nibble of the CEO. Thing is that guy actually looked like he actually enjoys it. Looks like he actually does eat Burger King's products, the food that they make.
Enticing taste test.
The CEO of McDonald's taste tests one of their burgers and his body language is hilarious. Let's analyze it, shall we?
You've heard about it. Here it is, the big arch.
Do you guys recognize that facial expression?
This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada.
This gesture, that's a defensive illustrator, and it means...
Vagabond says the arch, in my opinion, is going to be a huge hit in the memes. Yeah. Again, I'm wondering if this was genius marketing. At this point now, I almost think this was an intentional move by McDonald's because they knew it was going to get memed. They had a feeling. The marketing directors and the marketing director and the ones that were actually making this video that to put out on TikTok, I think they knew what they had. I think that's the reason why they put it out. They knew it was going to get memed, made fun of, but people would be talking about it. People would recreate it. So they'd go out and buy the item. People seeing him taking such a small bite are going to be curious to then go out and get it for themselves. I'm almost to the point going, you want to know what? I'm wondering if this was intentional marketing.
Whoa, don't come for me. We've tested it on other countries. What?
I love this product. It is so good.
Using your intuition, do you believe him? You're gonna notice the disgust muscle on the side of his nose a little bit. I don't believe him.
I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know.
Okay, more statement analysis, but like, I'm gonna eat this for my lunch, just so you know. Like, that was unnecessary to add, like, just so you know. And the pointing, he's not eating that for his lunch, but also don't point at me, dude. That's rude.
Here we go. First, holy cow.
Did you see him pull away instinctively? Whoa.
We've got 2 quarter-pound patties. Oh, there's so much going on with this. All right, the moment of truth.
I'm honestly so entertained. I feel bad for the guy. You see him hesitate. You see him, like, his mouth is, like, being like, no.
Almost retracting to cover his teeth so that when he does bite down, he's not going to really grab a whole lot.
Do it. You can see him. It's almost like his mouth is resisting opening. It's too funny.
That is so good.
They shouldn't have done it at all. I'm like literally crying. That is so good. This is called a micro expression. You can't control it. His body language will tell the truth. His words. I think he means no, it's not so good. He looks like he wants to cry. I do not blame him.
That's a big bite for a...
I mean, he did at least get some of it, but still, it is just a small... Who takes that small of a bite that isn't a child?
Big arch.
Look, guys who are making me do this, I took a big bite. Look, it's a big bite.
Distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger. But
I still am just seeing so much disgust. And the way he says it's distinctively McDonald's, his head's doing nods and shakes. And
I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch. But Big Arch, try it when you can get it.
you see the grief muscle when he says he's going to enjoy the rest of his lunch. And then the only part in the whole thing that's congruent is when he says to try it when you can get it. He does want you to buy it. Line that man's pockets, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
what would have been better is a video compilation of him eating that entire burger. I think it would almost be like the Jacob Fry video of him trying to play to the Somali community in Minneapolis when he was eating Somali food, and you could see he was putting it in his mouth and he was not enjoying it, and he's sitting here looking uncomfortable, the food's still in his mouth and not being able to eat it because it's like, yeah, this is garbage. I don't want to eat this. I'm being forced to because I need your votes and I need to look like I'm a supporter of the Somali community because you guys have funded my entire campaign and I'm on the dole to you guys. So I need to look like I love your culture and I need you. So I have to enjoy your food even though it is garbage and I'm being forced to do this because you guys paid me so much money.
and people are talking about this being a $12 burger. A $12 burger. McDonald's.
$12 compared to where you're at, where I'm at, it actually was only like $9.99. This had to be on purpose since it had to be looked at before it being released. Yeah, that's the other thing that's being kind of commented on is that everything that happens through McDonald's has to go through their marketing, and it means that people watched it and approved it and then released it. So yeah, again, I really do think this was on purpose. Now, granted, do I think the CEO doesn't eat their product, the food that they make? Absolutely. I don't think that he does. Does it feel cringe? Yeah. Again, I still think it was done on purpose. Yeah, medium combo was like 10 something plus tax. Yeah. Keep in mind I'm in Washington, so it's already a little bit more expensive, but a little bit, but not much. I'm on the other side of the state where it's not like Seattle. The burger was like $9.99, and then I got a large Coke. And I think my total bill came to only like $12 and some change. So, I mean, really overall, I mean, with all of the other pricing of fast food where it currently is, it's not that uncompetitive. Especially it being a double quarter. When you really look at it, it's a double quarter pounder with additional, a different sauce. Instead of being American cheese, it looks like white cheddar, I think is what it is. Plus, it looks like almost what would be like French's onions is like the onions that they have on it. So, and then I think it's a play on the mac sauce is the sauce that's actually on it. And like I said, and then lettuce. And then they use a higher grade pickle instead of just the normal pickles they put on the burgers. They have what they used to have on the Angus burgers. I think they're called like crinkle cut. And that's what's on that burger. You look at the price of just like your double quarter pounder with cheese, and it's about the same price. I think even the double quarter pounder with cheese might be a little bit more, mainly because the Big Arch right now is their special. So it may be under the price, but I didn't notice the difference. Mainly because I didn't look. I didn't think to look.
No, thank you. Shortly after the McDonald's CEO went viral, so did the Burger King CEO, taking a big old bite of their Whopper and really demonstrated what a true taste test is from a CEO that actually might eat the food.
And I think it stands up to the ingredients much better. Not bad, right?
Only one thing missing. A napkin.
That right there is a real bite of a burger. And the look on his face, the wrinkling around his eyes, I am no body language expert, but he does look like he enjoyed that bite. He really did. But let's be real, this is not the first time that Burger King has thrown shade at McDonald's, and I am here for it.
Let me pull that back just a little bit so we can see what the truck said. It says arch nemesis for hunger clowns can't satisfy. Well, I mean, McDonald's is the biggest company and all of the other ones are punching up when it comes down to it. McDonald's going after Burger King would be more punching down, really. Granted, I mean, it's corporations fighting each other. And so you want to know what? They're all on the same playing field. They're all when it comes down to marketing and everything else, everything is fair game. As long as they don't get to the point of defamation or anything like that. But something as simple as this, nah, it's all fun and games. I mean, anything to take the piss out of McDonald's. The sign says, "Work for a king, not a clown. Now hiring."
Burger King is right across from McDonald's. Work for a king, not a clown. We're hiring. I love company feuds back and forth. If you want to see me do a video on it, please let me know down in the comments. I love food feuds and all of that. I love it when big corporations throw shade at each other, and I think that might be kind of a fun video. Let me know if you're interested in something like that down in the comments. And then I didn't want to end this video without talking about the response that was posted 2 days ago from someone who used to be a corporate chef for McDonald's. I want to see what he has to say about this.
Chris K's McDonald's video. I'm a former McDonald's corporate chef, and this is a good one. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this individual. That's none of my or your business. But I have three.
Let me pull myself to the side so you can see his name because I'm kind of covering it right now. His name is Chef Mike Harzik. I can't say names. Forgive me. Harzik. You get the idea. You can see it on the screen. Yeah, I'm terrible when it comes to names. But he's on TikTok, and clearly because he goes by Chef, we believe everything that's on the internet. So clearly he's a chef because Chef is in his name.
Things to say about this video, as well as a story about this person. So Chris K is the CEO. Chris K became the CEO after the previous CEO, Steve Easterbrook, decided to dip his pen in Company Inc. And got removed from the company. I believe he made a bunch of millions of dollars as he was separated from the company. And then Chris K, who was part of another McDonald's business function of some kind, became the CEO. So this video, number one, no, McDonald's did not do this on purpose. They did not fabricate this video to be cringeworthy so that all of these people would, get views and whatnot and make comments. If they pretend, if marketing decides or social media says like this was the plan, they are lying. There is no universe that they purposely made this happen, which leads me to point number two. As somebody who was part of McDonald's media stuff, everything that is said in a McDonald's post is legally approved verbiage. Legal department must have.
Again, this still goes under the thing, the fact that I think it was intentional. Now, intentional in the release, knowing what would occur. I think that is the case. I think them seeing that it was that cringe probably would have pulled it and had him redo it to try to do a better take. I personally, and I haven't seen the corporate response from McDonald's, so I don't know. But I almost think that the marketing saw it, knew the ability of what this would actually do, get people memeing it, get people talking about it, getting people to go and actually trying the burger. I think it was intentional. I think this TikTok guy is just making this up partly. I think so too. But we'll see what else he says.
Reviewed this to ensure that it was okay to post. That does not mean the social media people.
But if legal looked at it, it's just making sure that he's not saying anything that could be used for a liability case or false product information. That would be the only reason legal would look at it.
Or the, marketing people are like, I don't know. I don't know why that stuff, that part didn't happen. It definitely should have happened based on all of these things. Third major point, yes, they are trying to make their own in-house influencers. They are trying to create him. He's been in a bunch of other videos. You want to put him in the CEO executive, here's some career advice, I guess, okay. Lots of people have been fortunate and are lucky to be in the positions that they're in. So I don't know how much insight you could get from there. But biggest point, I am going to tell you the story about the first time we met Chris K. All right. Marketing and R&D. R&D usually reports to marketing. I believe they still do at McDonald's. It's very common in lots of companies. So everyone was like, oh, Chris K's coming in today. We're going to have a little group powwow and we get to ask him questions. Now, As you can tell, I'm an outgoing individual. I'm the guy who will ask funny, lighthearted questions. I will make jokes with the CEO or the executive board. Your prestige does not affect me at all. I am very comfortable just interacting and talking like a normal person. So, gets to me. Everyone's excited because they know I'm going to ask something, all right? So all I do is ask. This is all I did was say, oh, Chris K, great to have you on the team. Just wondering, what are some of your favorite foods? Like, what do you like to eat? Now, I need to respond. I'm going to act out how he responded to this answer. This is going to uncover everything you need to know about the person and why the video that was posted is so weird to everyone. This is his response when your corporate chef and manager of culinary innovation and your R&D team ask you, the new CEO of the biggest restaurant in the world, what's your favorite food? Here is his response. I don't know, fish.
Okay, so maybe he was in charge of something that was not food related, but McDonald's had to put something in the position. This is, I think, a problem. If this is true, what it seems like is McDonald's put a guy that's in the CEO position that maybe is just not a food person. He eats it, but he just doesn't have a favorite, because there's people out there that it's just like, I'll kind of eat anything. I have my favorites and I kind of stick to them, but I really don't. There's nothing that really excites me. There's nothing I really like. And maybe this is just his personality. He's not like boisterous or really big and everything. I think someone called him, I've heard someone like call him like the Tim Cook of McDonald's. Even though Burger King did a dig, we are still talking about the arch. This is very true. The TikTok chef also missed that McDonald's have other menu items outside the States, including fish. This is true. Very, very true.
I have the creature of habit, so I don't know. I eat a lot of fish. That was his answer. You did not respond with a McDonald's thing. You did not even say the fillet of fish. You did not say like, oh, I've been on a diet, but those French fries, oh my gosh, they're gold standard. They're the best. Everybody knows it. You had every opportunity to answer the question appropriately or on brand, and you decided to go with, I don't know, fish. And that is the person they are trying to convince you. Look at how great this burger is, and their insight is so influential, and you should listen to this food person. Chris K's McDonald's.
Not everyone should be doing the marketing like that. I can understand wanting to put the CEO out front and center on that, but why do the CEO, when it comes to new products and innovations and stuff like that, have their head chef, the one that created it? Or have the head of R&D presenting their brand new item. I think overall, if they were going for true marketing, if they were going for something that's being genuine, they could have went that way. But again, like I said, I think this is marketing. I think this was intentional. They know he's awkward. They know he's not a food person. They knew they were going to get this type of reaction. They saw the video and went, we have gold. People are going to talk about the big arch. People are going to go and buy it. People are going to meme it. Sure, other companies are going to sit here and make fun of it, but you want to know what? People will be talking about it, and that's exactly what you want when it comes to a product. When it comes to food items, you want people talking about it. It's getting people talking about it on the internet, people talking about it on TikTok, X. I'm doing a video on it. So it means that it's actually having an impact, whether positively or negatively, it is having an impact. And that's what you want, because then it ends up going viral. It ends up being something that people are going to look into. People are going to be curious about it. They saw the CEO, who clearly is awkward, then all this stuff, and going, you want to know what? He definitely looks like he's not one of us. And he had a problem eating it, but maybe it's something that I'm going to like because I'm not like this guy. So, yeah, Trump eats finger foods with forks and knife. Yeah. I mean, each person is different when it comes down to it. I mean, I know it's a joke and it was played for this, but it is based in reality. If you remember the old Seinfeld episode where Elaine's boss that she was the personal assistant for, he would eat his, I think it was a Snickers bar with a fork and knife. Some people are just like that. They don't want to touch the food that they're eating, so they'll eat it with a fork and knife. They won't pick it up and eat it with their hands.
Got his laugh at the end there. All of that is hearsay. He's just, telling a story of when he worked at McDonald's, if he actually did work at McDonald's. But in my humble opinion, his story checks out. That looks like a guy who would, eat some fish. He does not look like a guy that would eat a McDonald's burger and enjoy it. And that came through on video, and it was extremely cringeworthy, and it's starting to blow up in McDonald's face. So this was
Is it though? Honestly, is it though? I mean, Vagabond is bringing it up in the chat. It's the fact that we're talking about it. People are talking about it. Again, it still leads me to believe that this was intentional. I'm wondering if their marketing strategy is make the almost like a joke. Almost like, let's put our most uncomfortable CEO in positions that make him uncomfortable to push the food that we make. Because people are going to talk about it. Did you see the new thing that he had to eat? Did you see his reaction? And it's going to get people curious. It's going to get people talking about it. And it's going to get people, in the case of the Big Arch, it's going to get people to be curious enough to maybe go get it for themselves. That maybe this burger may have went completely under the radar. No one would have talked about it. No one would really buy it. It's just a menu item that's a special that's off to the side. This, I think, again, I still believe this was marketing and it was intentional. Vagabond brings up a really good point. McDonald's, #1 for a reason. Exactly. Again, the guy from TikTok that she played, I think he's kind of pulling some of it out. And you want to know what? He may have met that CEO and he may be awkward like that. Maybe he's not a big food individual. Maybe he's more like a pescatarian. Maybe that's part of the reason why he spit the food out. Maybe he is a pescatarian, which for those that know, pescatarians can only eat fish and vegetables and that type of stuff. They don't eat other meat. They don't eat chicken. They don't eat beef. They only eat fish. Maybe he's a pescatarian, but since he's a CEO trying to push a product, maybe that's why he took that bite like he did. Who's not to say it didn't cut later and he got in and cleared his mouth of the meat?
promotional video that was supposed to make McDonald's new Big Arch burger seem irresistible. And instead it turned into the internet asking one simple question of the CEO. Sir, do you even like your product? Because remember, he called it a product, not a burger. Look, maybe it was nerves, maybe it was just a bad camera angle, but when the CEO of
Definitely not a camera angle. Awkward? Yes. Maybe he's not a person that can do in front of a camera. Maybe he's fine, but if the guy from TikTok is actually accurate, it sounds like he's just more of an introverted type individual that's not comfortable really with talking with people. And then to have to sit in front of a camera and act and present it, it was completely outside of his wheelhouse and comfortability. So, of course, it came off awkward. It's showing different body language and stuff like that. Again, I still go with, I think this was intentional.
McDonald's takes a bite of the burger like he's doing a risk assessment, the internet is going to notice. And you know, the memes were all inevitable. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Will you be trying the Big Arch burger just to see if it's really as disgusting as the CEO made it look?
overall, I would say, again, I tried it for lunch today and I had it for my lunch. I ate the entire thing. And like I said, it wasn't bad. Better than I thought, but I didn't know what to expect. I definitely a McDonald's burger. As I said before, the link to this video and to her channel is in the description. Her name again is Lindy Glenn. So go and check her out. But that's it for this episode of All the Good Titles Were Taken. I am the host, Drunken Emerald Arrow. Coming up on Saturday at 7 p.m. PST over on this channel is insert title here. Then on next Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST is Nerds Covering the News. And then back here at 6 p.m. PST next Thursday for the next episode of All the Good Titles Were Taken. Everyone have a good rest of the week. And hey, you want to know what? Tomorrow's Friday, and then we're on to the weekend. So we will see you on the weekend. Have a great night. We will see you next time. Take it easy.